our story for today. Fitness has become more important than ever and continues to grow. From the rise of the celebrity trainers who inspire and motivate us, to the catchy and trendy workouts that fill in the gaps from those tired norms of gyms and gym membership houses that accompany it. Fitness is becoming more accessible, and that's great. Sure, we could spend our time talking about how The Biggest Loser sets unreal standards, or that CrossFit can be a bit daunting or perhaps even dangerous for some of us. But at what point do we stop complaining and start doing something about our health? Just to be clear, skinny does not mean healthy, and not every workout routine is for everyone. And that's what makes this trend in fitness so great, that there are so many different options. Options like P90X, Insanity, various versions of yoga, CrossFit, bodyweight routines, high-intensity interval training, and boot camps. Just in the Northwest alone, I've seen a rise in the obstacle course-style races, which get us up and moving and hanging out with our friends. This trend is not just isolated to the US, it's gone viral worldwide, with races like the Color Run, the Mud Run, the Spartan Race, the Tough Mudder, or the Warrior Dash. For those of you who are a little intimidated by the intensity of these races, rest assured most of the contestants are not there to win. They're just there to have a good time. If an obstacle proves to be too difficult, you can go around, and no one is going to look down on you for skipping it. Odds are that being surrounded by people that are motivated to move is going to inspire you to do things that you wouldn't normally have done. If dirty isn't your thing, remember, there are options. Whatever it is that inspires you to move, do it. If you need some fitness advice, feel free to post any questions below and I'm happy to answer them. Remember, change in habits can only happen when new habits are formed to replace them. Join us next week for a report on the newest technological advancements in fitness for 2016 and how they can benefit you. Jason, back to you.
And this week in current events, President Obama signed several executive orders this past Monday, January 4th, dealing with gun control. Among the topics, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives will now require all gun sellers to have a license and conduct background checks. This doesn't matter if they're selling from a brick-and-mortar store, online, or from a gun show. It will also require those purchasing through a trust, corporation, or any other legal entity to follow the same rules as everyone else. The fiscal year 2017 budget will include funding for 200 new ATF agents and directs the ATF to establish an Internet Investigative Center to track illegal online firearms selling. The President has also proposed a $500 million investment in mental health care and directed the Social Security Administration to make available information on beneficiaries that are prevented from purchasing guns due to mental health reasons. He's also directed the Department of Health and Human Services to remove rules that might prevent states from sharing information on the same mental health patients who should not be purchasing guns.
Slumber Parties chic. First, why? Who was sitting at their desk thinking, we're running out of things to make trendy. I know, let's make pajamas ready to wear. Yeah, because that seems like a good idea. I mean, in the era of the people of Walmart, why not take some style tips from the craziest Walmart has to offer? Are you kidding me? Note that this is just a proposed look. You don't actually have to wear it. These looks only just hit the runways in the Spring-Summer 2016 shows, which were presented in September and October of this last year. We do not need to fall prey to this suggestion. End it now, before it even begins. Cut the blood at the source. No, no, and no. I don't recommend it. And the Lorax said, 1 pajama, 2 pajama, 3 pajama, no. If you're going to wear, say, this Alexander Wang look, or this Tikkun ensemble, do it at home with close friends, perhaps for a midweek, intimate, late evening affair. And Tikkun, the robe, it's beautiful, but it does not belong on the streets. Ralph, I'm not mad at you. This is in fact a very attractive jumper, and I think the model really completes the effect, so I don't think everyone can quite pull off this look, but I'd really classify this less pajama and more mechanic on glam. I love it. Gucci, Sonia, no. All kinds of no. Gucci's look has a bolero flair and then fails miserably with this ill-fitting hip and waistline. Look at that hip line, Gucci. What were you thinking? Why ruin such beautiful embroidery with an elastic waist? Sonia, sweetie, adding fur to a garment does not make it street ready. But I'm in my pajamas. Oh, hold on. Thanks, Sonia. For a better example of delicately embroidered edges gone right, we look to Etro. This look I could stand by. Do we see elastic waist? No. This look, while still a bit pajama-like at the shoulders, I wouldn't be so against. On a scale of pajama versus streetwear, I would say that this is on the positive side of that pajama streetwear cusp. Dior, thank you. Your attempt at slumber party chic rendered us a glamorous candy-inspired dream. Let's cut that hemline just a little bit shorter and we are spring ready. Givenchy, you never failed to deliver the utmost in fashion. It is no secret that the Givenchy line is one of my all-time favorites with its consistent delivery of fluid lines with an edgy style. With the exception of the long, overly dramatized sleeves for the runway appeal, this look embodies everything that I would look for if we were to take pajamas and turn it into an everyday look. And the win goes to you, Mr. Tisci, masterly executed. And all of these images that I'm showing you today came directly from the Harper's Bazaar website. Find all the links down below. And Harper's Bazaar, you should be ashamed of yourself trying to pass this off as chic. People look to you for fashion advice. Please, please, please don't lead them astray.
Thanks, Ahmed, for that update on fashion. I hope to never be seen outside wearing my pajamas. Now I'd like to talk for a minute about technology. Last week, we saw the Consumer Electronics Show happening in Las Vegas, Nevada, from the 6th to the 9th. This happens every year at the beginning of January, and we usually hope to see some major technological breakthroughs at this show. But this year, a little lackluster. As a matter of fact, some are saying that we may be seeing an end to the Consumer Electronics Show in the next 5 years. I hope not, because I always enjoy seeing what comes out of that. But you just never know. First off, Falsetto debuted Link. This is a handheld, network-attached storage device, or NAS. It will hold anywhere from 256 gigabytes to 2 terabytes of data, and allow up to 20 clients to connect wirelessly, with up to 7 of them streaming media at once. It will use wireless technology to recharge, and allow for up to 2 weeks of standby and 8 hours of continuous use. This thing is amazing. Fits in the palm of your hand or easily into a pocket, and will allow you to carry your data and media anywhere you go without requiring any cables. Faraday Future has debuted their FF01, a 1,000 horsepower electric vehicle that goes from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds and over 200 miles per hour. They'll be building a $1 billion, 3 million square foot manufacturing plant in Las Vegas to work on cars based on their variable platform architecture. That's a modular design for electric vehicles. One of my favorite items to come out of CES this year is the Philips Fidelio E6. This is a stereo system with 2 front speakers and a wireless subwoofer. What makes it unique is the tops of the front speakers detach and become wireless rear speakers, allowing you to have true surround sound. Those rear speakers can also be used individually to wirelessly connect with Google Cast and Spotify Connect. Finally, we have the Cassia Hub. This thing's a Bluetooth router. You heard me right, Bluetooth. This will allow your Bluetooth devices to extend their range from the standard 33 feet to almost 1,000 feet. It oftentimes will work through up to 3 walls in your home. It will also allow you to connect to them remotely by connecting to Wi-Fi and using a companion app on your cell phone. I don't know about you, but there's lots of times that I would love to be able to walk around with my Bluetooth headphones and not have them disconnect constantly. In entertainment news today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Warner Brothers Studios. After spending the first decade of the 2000s at the top of the heap, with a swish and a flick, they've been shoved into a vanishing cabinet. What with the end of the Harry Potter movies?
In an effort to regain, they're attempting to push for more multi-picture series, cinematic universes, and sequels.
Their efforts begin this coming spring with the release of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This will attempt to start a 10-movie arc featuring heroes from the DC Universe, culminating in a Justice League movie.
And as if they hadn't cashed in on Harry Potter enough, they're attempting to shoot 3 films all based on a book from the movie called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Now let's remember, this is a 42-page companion novel based upon a textbook.
In the movie.
Next up, let's talk crossover movies. Despite neither being successful, Warner Brothers intends to make a prequel to King Kong, followed by a sequel to Godzilla, all leading up to a King Kong versus Godzilla movie. Now, I don't know about you, but I too would like to see a giant ape fight a giant lizard, but I'm not so sure this is going to be successful.
Let's open up to Lego spin-offs like Batman Lego, Ninjago, and the Lego Movie 2. For that matter, why not make Harry Potter Lego or Mad Max Lego? I mean, that was a good movie.
You know, I like Mad Max as well, as did the rest of America. And as such, they will also be getting 2 more sequels, bringing the total number of Mad Max movies up to 6.
6. Okay. As long as they put enough effort into every single one of those, I'm okay with that. You have my go. Despite the primary cast having been signed to multiple films, the Pan series has been cut.
It did not do well in theaters and was not critically well received.
But don't worry about Hugh. He'll be putting on his claws at least one more time.
You know we love the X-Men.
Absolutely.
This is Jason,
And Ahmed, signing off. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm trying to cash in on the Lego franchise. I'm going to make the Peafo Network Lego movie.
No.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us again this week.
And we want to give a shout out to Zoe. Hey, Zoe.
And as always, if you want more information about the topics we discussed, you'll find links in the description below.
And if you have any questions on anything we talked about, feel free to ask us. We're more than happy to answer.
And don't forget, click subscribe. Subscribe.
Right there,
over
guys.
Here.
Keep joining us every week.
Subscribe.